Hey everybody, welcome back. Northernlion plays The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. No baby today, I'll see you tomorrow. I know some people, they're just watching for the occasional angle, which is fine, I can understand. I don't mind a Judas run, but I'm a little perturbed. K3ZWHX91. Right out of the gate, I'm gonna tell you a couple of things you don't like to see. I don't mind a Judas run, you know, he's dangerous, of course. He's so dangerous. He's so that guy. He's got no HP. He's so dangerous. That's Akon. The Binding of Akon. We got to get some damage downfield as soon as possible, okay? You also do not love to see Burning Basement, Curse of Darkness. It's like some of the worst combination you could possibly have, especially when your HP is low, and a single enemy could possibly ruin your life. So, following this, you don't really love to see a big room, to be honest, but they did a great job of spreading the biohazard there, whatever the heck this item is called. See, this is what I mean. I'm like, I don't see them, man. They're hard to spot. Now, you might say they're easy to spot, but you're watching this, you know, your 300-inch flat screen TV. I'm watching this, or I'm playing Isaac in like a little 640 by 480 window in the center of the screen. Why? Well, because that's the way I've always done it, and, I mean, I think there's, actually, to be honest with you, I think there's some games where having, like, a large monitor and a large screen capture helps you out a great deal, and then there's some games where I think, like, you know, it's actually best to have it small. Like, I genuinely did suffer, and who knows if it's coincidental, but when I started playing chess on this new monitor... Bro, really? Like, it's... First off, they're not even the items that I want. Secondly, I can't get any of them without risking certain death. Either way, I genuinely did suffer. Like, I think I lost, like 17 out of 20 games or something like that, until I resized the screen region. And when I resized the screen region, everything just kind of like fell into place. This is actually fine. Just hoping there's no flies in here. I was hoping that, you know, we might... Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Maybe there was another heart elsewhere, but I was hoping maybe we might be able to pick up like a spirit heart, but you know what? We'll let it ride temporarily. We hates it. That won't get pushed into the fire, right? And blow up? Come on, man. Just gotta... Just a little squeeze? Just a little squeeze, okay. I mean, that was, like, genuinely one of the most harrowing things I think I've ever done in this game. So just gonna get that over to, like, dead center. We're gonna press up against this wall. Should be fine. Alright, look at that. No problem. Alright. Now, having proved our mettle here, that's the rare play in Isaac that honestly, you know, you gotta be pretty adept to actually get done. There's still no spirit hearts for sale. There are still no spirit hearts for sale. Okay, so, you know what? I really thought that was going to start the flowchart for us. I thought we were going to get a spirit heart begets confidence, confidence begets a little bit of competence, and then, you know, before you know it, we're the first deal with the devil, Abaddon, game's over, you know? No such luck. Instead, we're going to continue doing some resolute due diligence. You gotta go. You gotta go. I mean, they call it hard mode for a reason. It's not called, you know, easy mode. That would be a different situation, for sure. Even, like, I'm like, if we could buy a bomb? Hold on. This is way spicier than it might look. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, we could take that pill. The pill can't kill us. That doesn't mean it's necessary. Oh, we can buy a bomb. What are we gonna use the bomb to do? You could blow up the greed statue. Okay, so after blowing up the greed statue, what do? You hope it gives you 5 cents so that you can buy a bomb? I don't know, man. It's all busted up. Anyway, it's an easy boss fight. That's the best thing we could root for. And then either HP or purchasing power would be the best thing for us. Rarely will I say we don't need damage, but you know, as Judas is one of the times that's most important, and we got some damage. All right, we're going down to the next floor. I'm caffeinating severely here. This is a very spicy situation indeed. Now, I genuinely don't mind doing that room. You know, it's a couple of bosses. Of course, I would love to maybe get to the shop and have a chance to buy a spirit heart first. Okay, and then it's all coming back to me now like Celine Dion. Look at that. Okay, so you might think that's a terrible trade. You know, keys are, of course, very important right now. But I'm really willing to take pretty much whatever I can get to just kind of get any sort of consumable and hope to parlay it Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems style into something, you know, that can up our long-term sustainability. So really, any lever we can pull, and then any resource that comes out of the hopper, I think I'm going to be okay with right now. But I don't know. I am functioning on limited sleep. I'm not, you know, complaining about it. It's just baby life. You know, you get we've had a lot of nights of very good sleep, and or by baby standards at least, and then you know you get a couple of nights that maybe aren't so hot. It happens, and you just persevere. All of a sudden, we're looking. I know I'm a hero. All of a sudden, we're looking pretty good here. I mean, as Judas, like, that's the thing, right? If you get over that early hurdle, you're kind of set. I think it's kind of like being, like, a professional athlete. Like, the odds of you actually making it as a professional athlete are essentially as close to infinitesimal as you can get, I think, as far as careers go. 2 bombs for this. Oh, I have regrets. I have regrets. But once you make it, you're pretty much fine. Like, even if you're a relatively, you know, let's say you're in, like, the bottom 10% of skill in a professional sports league, I mean, you're still, like, making well over the, you know, the average income. Depending on the league, I guess. But I mean, like, of the major sports, including hockey. Finally, we get a key. Okay, I think we will do this just because we're here, and then we'll go back for the item room, and then, honestly, I feel like it changes quick. Like, we're pretty set. But yeah, in many ways, Judas is like signing that, you know, that second contract in the sports league. Usually, you know, the first contract as a rookie, I'm not going to say you're not crushing it, but, you know, generally speaking, you don't make enough as a rookie. It depends, you know, I'm speaking from the NHL here, but you don't make enough on your rookie deal to, like, retire. Unless you're forced to retire because you're not doing very well. And by the way, new streak, new me. You might have been like, man, there's 2 Guppy items in there, and he didn't take either of them. I love Guppy, but you know, I almost think there's like a self-fulfilling prophecy there. We got Guppy less often, so I started valuing Guppy items less, and as a result, you know, we get Guppy even less often, and we value the items even less, and now Guppy sentiment is at, like, you know, a local minimum. Well, sure glad we spent a key on that, but either way, we'll just get out of here. It's very, very good right now. I got, like, very little to complain about, that's for sure. But yeah, your rookie deal, you know, you're doing fine, don't get me wrong. Elias Pettersson's still walking around wearing, you know, $3,500 Louis Vuitton hoodies and stuff like that on Instagram. But it's that second deal where you're like, I gotta try really hard to screw this up. We're in a pretty defensible position. Speaking of being in a defensible position, I mean, look at this. We got great AOE, 2 AOE items. Honestly, like having a death card on every single room, which is probably something I don't need to tell you how good that is. It's like a death card, you know, it's not that amazing. But if you could have one every single room, you would be like, yes, please. Sir, could I interest you in another death card? You know what? I will have another death card. Thank you. Thank you for asking. There's even more AoE here. Anyway, we can pivot from Isaac to non-Isaac. How am I doing? I'm doing well. You know, thank you for asking. I had a great stream yesterday. Finished Hitman 2 and started to work... Or, sorry, Hitman 3. I keep calling it Hitman 2. Finished Hitman 3, the story mode, and started to work on, you know, doing some custom challenges in that game. How do I feel about Hitman 3? I think it's very good. I think it's like, you know, it's the same level as Hitman 1 or Hitman 2, I think. A couple of the maps, you know, like, I feel like if you graft, like, sentiment about the quality of a AAA game, or about how people feel about a AAA game, I think it always peaks at two different locations. One is, like, a year after its release, when people do, like, retrospectives, and they go, you know what, I actually had a great time playing this. And once is, like, the day before it comes out, people are like, oh, I can't wait for this game. The actual, you know, days surrounding its release, I think is where sentiment is at its lowest. Because instead of just being able to buy into this idea of, like, this awesome game, instead you're dealing with a real, you know, product or a piece of art, however you want to contextualize it. You know, it's got positives, it's got negatives, it's got some beautiful stuff, it's got some warts. You know, it's real. So I think there's been almost like I wouldn't say too much negativity about Hitman 3. Like, it's not going through that kind of, like, cyberpunk thing where people are like, it's a disaster. But I think people are kind of like... I think some sentiment is being a little too hard on it. Let's put it that way. A couple of the maps, like, I don't think Berlin, which is, like, the dance club map, is my cup of tea. Catch some flack for saying it occasionally, but it's, you know, my 2 cents. And then, like... The map on China, I'm still, like, the jury's out. I'm not totally sure how I feel about it. It might be amazing, but my first run through, I didn't really. I found it kind of overstuffed, maybe. But I actually think, like, Dubai and I think it's called Dartmoor, the second mansion mission, or the second mission, which is that mansion murder mystery. By the way, we're just gonna grab this, and Argentina are, like, some of the best maps that they've ever made in the Hitman, you know, from 2016 to 2021, the modern Hitman games. I think they are extremely, yeah, let's just pop this. Extremely good. I think the game is gonna... It's gonna go through good public consciousness in a bit. And it's still positive, like, reviews are good. But you know, sentiment is only gonna rise. That's my opinion on it. Now, full disclosure, I do own a position in Hitman 3. I have the game. Why not? Why not? But yeah, so we did that. We played a little chess. I got my first brilliant move on chess.com. I feel like it was undeserved, but that's okay. What's a brilliant move? A brilliant move is basically, like, the computer in chess.com analyzes your games at a certain depth, which I believe means, you know, it thinks... It does, like, I don't know, a billion simulations or something like that, and then evaluates what moves win most often in these situations. But occasionally, you can make what's called a brilliant move, which is where your move that you made is actually better than what the computer came up with at its default depth, which is pretty impressive, because, you know, I mean, to the best of my knowledge, at least, no human being, you know, is going to beat Stockfish default depth more than 50% of the time. The chess computer, you know, it has some distinct advantages, let's put it that way. Okay, we'll take... In fact, I don't even know if the average human being would... Or not the average, but I don't know if, like, Magnus Carlsen would beat Stockfish more than, like, you know, a quarter of the time. But regardless, so, you know, occasionally there will be a move that basically surprises the computer, and then when they run the analysis, they're like, actually, this move was smarter than what we came up with. And we had one of those yesterday, which was a lot of fun. I wish I could tell you that it was intentional and I puzzled out an incredible line. Really, it was a happy accident where they threatened my queen. I saved it thinking that... you know, that was the big threat, but it turns out there was a move on the board that would have allowed them to take my queen, but the happy accident, and I know you're like, there's nothing more boring than, like, a chess post-mortem, especially when you weren't involved, but I'm just trying to put the story into context, right? Basically, they threatened my most valuable piece. I moved it, thinking, like, that was a basic move. It turns out, you know, 99 out of 100 good players would have still tried to take it, but if they did, the computer found, like, an unbelievably strong line to prevent that from actually coming to pass. So, I really, to be honest with you, like, probably should take it, but I'm just a little scared, and probably that would have been a great opportunity to use Black Rune. So, you know, there's the deal with the devil play. Everybody wants to contextualize things as plays these days. Oh, the pop play, the Dark Judas play. You know, how about the shut up play? Sure, we could have taken Mom's Knife there, you're not wrong. I don't know, I just felt like taking, I felt like taking the mark, you know? We just had Mom's Knife on the last run. Maybe this is a return to the old NL? The NL that wants to get a little zany with it, the NL that wants to get a little weird with it, the NL that takes for granted that he's got, you know, almost 20 wins in a row and just kind of wants to, you know, feel the adrenaline pumping a little bit. Everybody's like, stop talking about Isaac, but then you make one, you know, on the board play that's a little wonky and people are like, oh, I gotta... I gotta leave a comment about this. By the way, thank you for doing so. First off, more community lore, but secondly, also ups the engagement on the videos. None of these are really gonna pog off in the YouTube algorithm, because, you know, basically it's like, you know, you don't expect an episode of the news to pop off in the YouTube algorithm either. I think we could work with Jar of Flies. Why not? Why not? Why shouldn't I have it? Yeah, it's a speed upgrade, right? Yay! Let's go! We're remembering, like, little things that I, you know, had swept aside in the old memory banks. Got nothing wrong with that either. Okay, get me out of here. But yeah, it's been good. Been having a good time streaming. Oh my god, I gotta tell you too. So we got the. And this is like as boring as it gets, right? But again, I gotta tell you, we have no anecdotes. We did, I think I talked about this because I've talked about everything, but you know, starting in August, maybe, is when it looks like people in my age group, you know, senior citizens, are gonna get vaccinated in British Columbia. So, you know, get ready. The September 2021 grocery store anecdotes may return. But for now, like, all I got is that, like, you know, I'm actually, like... Oh, we would have been Guppy, too. No Guppy, no Mom's Knife. 15 years ago, we had Johnny Cash, Bob Hope, and Steve Jobs. Now we got no Hope, no Cash, and no Jobs. You know what I mean? And no Guppy and no Mom's Knife. But, now, yeah, like, I really... Like, I'm living the life of, like, a retiree right now. But also working. Like, every Sunday, the lunches that this, like, meal service delivers to us are delivered. And I, like, look outside of the window just, like, waiting for them to show up. And then I rip open the bag like it's, like it's a Christmas present or something like that. And then this week, oh my god. Chicken Caesar salad. Like 6 different types of curry. I have to be honest with you, I'm on like a 2 lunch a day meta. I'm eating like no breakfast really, although I will say I bought some cereal recently and I've been going back on the cereal train. I gotta tell you, cereal is, you know, not great for you, obviously, most of them at least, but a very versatile food. I don't know if there's another food that works better as both a breakfast and a midnight snack than cereal. You know, you pop it into the bowl at 6:45 a.m. It's like literally 98% carbohydrates. It gets you going. And then before bed, you're like, I got a little, I'm a little peckish, but I don't really want to eat something heavy, so why don't I just have a bowl of Lucky Charms? I didn't get Lucky Charms, but you know, you get the idea. It's like the trickiest way to accidentally eat 75 grams of sugar in a single serving. But I'm a cereal fan for sure. But I'm actually on like I would say like 3 to 4 days a week. I'm actually on the double lunch train instead. So I'll eat like it's because of the stream schedule, but I'll eat a lunch at like, you know, 10:45 a.m. and just mash it in before the stream starts, and then I'll eat another lunch at like, you know, 4:15 once the stream is done. Just kind of like an awkward mealtime, but I think you've probably heard me discuss this about 4,000 times recently, so we don't need to go back down this road. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know that, you know, That's what's going on right now. That's what's up in my world. My world, talking about my world. And then that's where you go. My world, or his world. I'm on that double lunch train, so I'm like, today, man, I don't know. There's a little chicken teriyaki bowl, a little Penang curry. There's a chickpea and beef pilaf. I will say, none these, it's actually, and you know, I don't know if this is like a local business or what, but it might start to expand, but it's really like the perfect meal service for me. I am more cheap than my standards are high. So I wouldn't, and I've, you know, we've got like 7 hours of material talking about this service now, but you know, they always tell you should speak about what you know, and I know food, and also, you know, I mean, feeling uncomfortable with spending like more than $10 on a meal, I guess, on a regular basis at least. Whether you can afford it or not, it's just like, yo, $10, you know? For this, for 10 bucks, I could, you know, buy 17 kilograms of red beans, and, you know, so again, you know, I'm not trying to appeal to absurdity here, I'm just setting the stage. But the meals are not particularly amazing. Like, nobody would ever leave a review for this service that is like, this is the best lunch I've ever had in my entire life. But if I wanted like the best lunch I've ever had in my entire life, I would have to, like, you know, order like a $30 Uber Eats lunch every day. I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? I don't respect myself enough. Or maybe I respect myself too much. I'm not sure. I wouldn't feel good about myself. Instead, these are like, you know, they come to like $8.50 Canadian or something like that. And they're decent, and they have decent nutritional quality. But the most important thing by far, oh my god, are they convenient. You finish the stream, a couple of minutes in the microwave, and you're good to go. Resist the temptation, because I know you're going to be like, there's ways to do it cheaper. It's true, but if there's ever been a time to, like, lean on convenience, is when you're in New Baby City, let me tell you. You may think, like, you wouldn't succumb to the value. I mean, you can still meal prep when you got a baby. It's not impossible. I'm just saying you got to, like, pick your battles, right? Anyway, so that's, I don't know. Leave your response in the comments below. What meal do you think I should eat for lunch today? I stick to my principles, by the way. I've talked about it. I've previously, one of the hottest takes I've ever had is that I actually think, and nutritionally, the fries might actually be better for you. But I actually think like a Caesar salad tastes better than French fries. You give me a choice at a restaurant to either get Caesar salad or French fries, I would rather have the Caesar salad. Don't tell the restaurant. Usually there's an upsell charge, but I would pay like an extra $2 to $3 to get a Caesar salad instead of French fries. That's how much I value it. And it's not a nutritional play. It's mere, like, because the dressing is like, you know, 75% mayonnaise or something like that, and then, you know, it's incredibly salty, and there's croutons and bacon bits and etc. But, you know, we got those meals delivered. What did I have for lunch after the stream yesterday? Out of all the curries, the roast chicken with mashed potatoes, etc. I mean, that's pretty good, man. Let's just stick with that. I gotta tell you, I went straight for the chicken Caesar salad. Just something about it, man. It's like engineered by food scientists to make your brain feel as good as possible. That might not literally be true. In fact, I would hazard a guess that it's not even close to literally true. Wonder why it's called a Caesar salad. You know what I mean? Like, so, I made a joke comment the other day. Someone said, NL, while you're talking about weird food stuff, why is a hamburger called a hamburger when it's made out of beef? And then I said, because I thought it would be funny to flip the script, you know? I said, well, the hamburger was actually named after the popular sandwich known as a chicken burger. And then the reply was like, you know, they it still doesn't have ham in it. And I was like, oh yeah, plus he got the meat wrong. When he named it. That's how you can tell I'm functioning on like 5 hours of sleep tonight, or today I should say, because it's honestly, repeating my own joke to me now made me laugh more than anything I've heard in like a month. Except for when Dan told the story about when he was a kid and the older kids biked up to him with a fizzy pink liquid and went, "You want a swig?" That's a great story. But, you know, food names are interesting, right? Like, you know, they don't, it's weird, right? Because, like, what is a food name supposed to be? You know, now we're getting into it. This is more a normal topic of conversation for me. What's your ideal food name? You know, do you want it to be descriptive? Or do you want it to sound delicious? Or do you want it to be both? Because, like, you know, there's some foods I think they almost do the opposite and they sound gross. A garbage plate from upstate New York, right? I mean, even, I understand this is like a, you know, an anglicization, but, you know, in Canada, at least in the Anglophone part of Canada, you order poutine. That doesn't sound nice, you know? It sounds quite disgusting, actually, but... And of course I understand, you know, I don't know, in French it must mean something different. Maybe it means like warm bowl or something like that, but in English it sounds, you know, when you got that heavy Anglophone accent on it, it sounds very indelicate. Sloppy Joe. Like, I don't really like Sloppy Joes, and I really feel like one of the main reasons that I can't get down with them is because the name is like, is kind of hideous. I don't necessarily mind a sloppy food, but I would rather be surprised that it's a little sloppy, you know? I guess. So I mean, a Sloppy Joe is not sloppy, so I applaud them for truth in advertising, but a Caesar salad is a weird one, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the Caesar salad was not invented in Roman times. It was probably invented by, like, you know, some Los Angeles chef in, like, 1963. I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to give very specific predictions, because you might not remember this, but, like, last week or a week and a half ago, I was just like, man, I wonder how many active subscribers, I should say, Netflix has, and I couldn't find the data online. Well, just due to happenstance, they happen to have their, like, you know, Q4 2020 earnings call, because it's that season, if you don't follow the market, but, and they were like, we have 200 million active subscribers, which is the exact number that I estimated. To be fair, it's kind of like, you know, we made an educated guess, and I acknowledged, like, hey, this might just be, like, out of nowhere. But I was very proud of myself. Because we were like, you know, a lot of Americans have it, but then, like, you know, American households tend to not have more than one Netflix subscription, because, you know, they can get, like, I don't know, 17 people on a family plan or something like that. Anyway, you get the idea. I'm tooting my own horn, admittedly, but... So I don't know, maybe it was invented by a California chef in 1963. Same thing, like, foods are weird, man. You know, the California roll? I'm not trying to, like, you know, be a stan for Vancouver necessarily, but there's disputed origins of the California roll. One of the origins suggested is actually there's a chef in Vancouver, a sushi chef, who says he invented the California roll. How could he possibly lay claim to it when Vancouver's not in California? Well, food names are not always representative of where they actually came from, and then secondarily, in many ways, Vancouver kind of wishes it was California. It aspires to the Californian ideal. But yeah, I think about that from time to time, as you can tell. We've won this run. So, I mean, I'm not going to apologize for... Well, for anything on this run, really. We avoided Mom's knife to bring a little bit more uncertainty to the run. We had a very spicy start to it, where things definitely could have gone wrong if we didn't do our due diligence. Like, I'm feeling pretty justified and feeling proud of this one. Yeah, food names are weird. Even, like, French fries. Garden salad. Now, that's, like, my ideal name for a food. It sounds delicious, because, you know, a garden at least of vegetables and herbs, is, you know, it's a tasty thing. It evokes the idea of freshness and healthiness, but it is also descriptive, you know? It's stuff you'd find in a garden. Cobb salad, you know you're getting something freaky. You know, no eggs are growing in your garden unless you got some kind of, maybe you got some eggplants in there. If you get it. It's a play on words. It's probably the simplest play on words you could possibly muster. But anyway. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Then some food names, like I know I've talked too much about, like I hate when you go to a restaurant and the menu doesn't tell you in the name of the food what it is. Instead, it just tries to tell you, like, the feeling that it'll evoke when you eat it. Ooey gooey, chewy, peanut butter, cookie, and looky. And you're like, I don't even know what is, and they're like, oh, it's this big cookie with like a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top of it. I'm not asking you to just list, like, you know, in order of volume or density or whatever, the ingredients and then how it's cooked, and ask me to figure it out for myself. I'm just, you know, good, finger-licking chicken, keep you clucking and keep you clicking. You're like, Chili's, come on, what is it? And they're like, it's chicken noodle soup. I'm not gonna, what do you mean it's finger-licking good chicken noodle soup? I'm not gonna use my hand to eat the soup. You're just asking for burns. Or, I mean, really, you're just eating a pot full of bacteria at that point, too. Hey, you stinky, stop hitting me. I told you, I warned you. But then, like, there's foods that I don't respect because they do the opposite. Like, to this day, I don't really understand Nashville hot chicken. Like, hot chicken describes, like 75 different dishes. Chicken noodle soup, chicken tenders, full rotisserie chicken, you know, buffalo wings. Like, what? I know what it is, I just don't respect the name. Which I guess is, you know, I'll still eat it, don't get me wrong. But if I design the world, oh, there's a scary thought. A world without zinc. It's a Simpsons interstitial, if you will. Well, I think we're pretty much done on this episode. I'll just turn off my mic and let it ride here. I am actually, let's not describe myself as nervous, but I have taken a few hits that I'm not thrilled with. We should still be fine. But the faster we could find the deal with the devil, the happier I'd be, for certain. And I don't really care what you give me unless you give me a chest, which you didn't. You know what? Maybe I do care what you give me. We'll come in here and pop this down real quick. Good strength card as well. I mean, like, if we lost this run at this point, even if we had to respawn with Guppy's Paw, I would be insanely embarrassed with myself. But instead, I think I'm just going to be the normal, healthy amount of embarrassed. And look at that. That's like 19 wins in a row. What a world. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. And I am live every day, except for Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. Come watch twitch.tv/Northernlion. I'll see you next time. See ya!